Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and what you just saw is my first ever acrylic pour, and man, I had no idea what I was doing, and that was kind of okay. I was fine with not knowing what I was doing because I really wanted to try it out. Whenever I try a new technique, I always read up about it first, and then I kind of just go for it and hope for the best, and then I go from there and I see what I do wrong and what I do right, and I just continue that way. I think that's the best way of learning. Like, you can watch as many YouTube videos as you want, but at the end of the day, just doing something and trying your best at it at first and going from your initial instinct should take you in a good place, and it's really fun that way, I think. So what you're seeing on screen now is me actually removing the tape that I put on the canvas to stop it from going from where I want to paint. So what I did was I just used simple painter's tape, and then I cut around the desired shape of, in this case I'm painting Millhouse, so I wanted the liquid art to stay separate from the actual painting. So using the painter's tape really helped to block out that kind of stencil effect that I was going for. And as you can see, I'm pulling off the painter's tape, and I actually left quite a clean line. I did use a scalpel to just clean up the paint edges a little because it was kind of tough to get off, but it wasn't too bad. I was expecting it to be like a complete disaster, but I kind of saved it with just carefully pulling and carefully removing the actual painter's tape. So I'm working on wood panel here, and what I realised is that the acrylic paint that I poured actually set really nicely and very well into the wood. So with the painter's tape, it kind of just allowed it to not set as well, so it made it kind of easier to pull off and remove. Okay guys, so it came out quite alright, and I was quite surprised that I could even take off the masking tape. But yeah, I messed up a little here, and I was supposed to masking tape this bit, but it didn't. I didn't do it right, and I masking taped the wrong bit. So I'm gonna have to do something a little later to colour this bit in this fashion. But yeah, it should be fine. And yeah, this is just a test, so I guess it looks pretty cool. Alright, so now that I'd finished up with removing the painter's tape, all I had to do was get on with painting the final finishing touches of Millhouse, bringing it to life, and this is kind of where I knew exactly what I was doing. There was no problems at all, because I've done this hundreds of times before. I just used acrylic paint, a mixture of Liquitex and golden paint. Those two brands are my favourite, and I always use them to paint. And yeah, it was kind of simple from this point on. The hard work and the scary work of the liquid art was complete, and yeah, it was just smooth sailing from here on out. One really great thing that I learnt from this whole process of liquid art, or acrylic pouring, or whatever you want to call it, is that I can not control any of it, which is a good thing, and I think that's something that I really have to learn, and I think it's really cool to explore within my art, is to kind of let go a little. The lack of control I had when pouring was really interesting to me, and I didn't like it at first. I felt like it was a disaster, and that oh my god, I did something terrible, I created something terrible. But I soon realised that those thoughts in my head was because I wanted to control things within my art, and that I was so used to controlling things. So what this did was kind of free me up a little, and I realized that after I did it, you know, it didn't happen in the moment. I was kind of a bit stressed in the moment of just pouring and yeah, just looking at the colors mix and change into a kind of mush that I didn't want. But as soon as the time passed and I got to look at it the next morning, I kind of realized that, you know, this is kind of cool and different. And I think that's what makes me want to come back to this and continue creating more acrylic pouring and continue to do that because it's so fun. Another cool thing that I realized is that I've combined order and chaos in my work. So the chaos being the liquid art, where I have completely no control as to how it will turn out, and then the order being the painting that I'm finishing up right now of Millhouse, where I know exactly where the paint is going to go. I know exactly how it's going to turn out. So that's something that's really cool, and I find really interesting to look at, whether it's in my art or in other people's art. I like seeing opposites and differences and juxtapositions in people's work, because it kind of gives a cool you know, I don't know, it makes it more interesting, I guess. Alright guys, so this is the final outcome, and I kind of like it. I'm surprised how much I like the background. I thought at the start, when I initially poured it, I thought that parts of it was over mixed, and I found that it was kind of a cool thing in the end, where the different textures like added to it. At the top you can see a little over mixing, and that's where I kind of was a bit worried at the start, as it's kind of turned to a green, and I didn't pour any green, and I think obviously because I used blue and yellow, they mixed together to make a green. So yeah, it kind of looks okay. And yeah, I'm happy this is my first ever acrylic pour, and it's kind of turned out pretty cool, and I'm proud that I've created it. But yeah guys, I hope you've enjoyed, and yeah, let me know if you have any questions below. I can't wait to get on with more acrylic pours in the future, and yeah, keep it cool guys, bye.